This is the big one, and there's so many little things that if this thing just did that, count me in, right? But this one here is the reason people say, hey, your knee doesn't hurt. Are you gonna stop using this? I'm like, I'm gonna stop using this when Jesus comes home, but that's just me. But within 6 months, it says your heart reverses an age. So what does that mean? That means if I go to the doctor today and he said, Josh, you're 50 years old, but based on your heart rate, your cholesterol number, everything from your cardio standpoint, your cardiovascular age is 65. So we're going to put you on these 2 medications. We need you to start this exercise regimen. We need you to do things to reduce your stress, get rid of your cat, whatever you need to do. To reduce my cardiovascular age to my regular age. What they've noticed on here, and they did this study with 200 and some people, that 93% of the people that wore this for 6 months seeing a reduction in their cardiovascular age of 8 years just wearing this patch for 6 months. That is massive. Guys, and when I heard that, I'm like, that is cool. And then now I can tell you that I've got people on my team, that people that are, about my age, that are pretty athletic, and said, I've got maybe a little bit of energy. I don't know if it's doing this and this. And I was doing a presentation just like this with a college baseball coach, and he was with me. And when I got to this one, he goes, hold on a second, John. Pulls out his blood work for the last 6 months. And his cholesterol level wasn't in that low 300 for years. And he goes, right now, and it dropped 180 points. He goes, it's the only thing I've done differently, and this is changing my role, because it was a hereditary thing. So that's why David Schmidt, again, our CEO, says this is not anti-aging, this is age reversing. Has anybody ever heard of any company ever say this is age reversing? Right, ever. Right, so this is bold, and when you hear about the technology that's about to come out, we're not recording this, we're going to talk about the word cancer. And we're going to be bold about it. So there's some exciting stuff coming out of what this thing is doing here. So how to wear X39. So if you guys have a paper and pen and you want to write this down, this is pretty difficult. So in the morning, you put your sticker on, 12 hours later you take it off and throw it in the trash. You may go over that again, everybody? Right.
Go over it for those who aren't on the patch yet.
Yeah, exactly. So here's what I like to do. I put it on my phone, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. It says patch on, and then 8 p.m. it says patch off, right? And my wife was annoyed with me when I first started doing this because I would walk around the house like, patch on, patch off. You guys remember that commercial. But, and she thought it was funny the first 2 days, but 2 months into this, nope, she was, anyway. So, so how to wear your patch, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I would definitely suggest you wearing it in the daytime, not at night, unless you don't like to sleep. All right, and then so throw your patch away, rinse and repeat. You can wear more than one if you really want to, you don't have to. And drink plenty of water. Dr. Barry, how much water should we drink?
Half our body weight in ounces.
Half our body weight in ounces. Okay, so if you're not doing that, you should do that anyway. But if you're somebody who started doing this, like, I'm not seeing results yet, increase your water intake, especially water with electrolytes, right? Some good salt or minerals, and that'll kick that out of there. You can do all kinds of good stuff to your body to get rid of the bad stuff, but if you don't have an exit strategy, it's not going to go anywhere, right? So drink how you like that one. All right, so we got just a couple of pictures I wanted to show you guys. I am not that guy that's going to show you all these rando pictures of somebody I'll never meet. There's a couple people like this, but we end up meeting everybody that's on these things. But I'm going to show you some pictures of people that are on our team as well. So we'll get to meet this gentleman in Vegas. He just wanted to do a picture of what he looked like in November of 2022, and then you can see him February of last year. Massive differences. Wow. So we got to see him in Vegas. He just attended one of our things out there. This lady, she wanted to kind of say, day one, a month into it, a year into it. Why she didn't pick 30 days and 365 will boggle me forever. But that's just irritating me. But she said, right? Isn't that, I don't know. I can't even look at the screen. I'm going to have to change those. So this is her today. And she said, I didn't want people just to see me and say, okay, yeah, you got a facelift. I wanted to show what this looked like from a progression standpoint. We see so many people on our team that way. This guy here, he's one of our favorite people in the world. His name's Marty, and he's out of St. Louis, and he is just the sweetest man in the world. He is 84 years old, and so we do the same meeting just like this. We have about this many people show up every Thursday. or more. And he comes every single time, and he comes up and he gives his little testimony. He's got like 10 things on his little rap sheet. We made him only talk about 3 at a time because we have to go to bed sometime. But so he didn't show up to meetings like 2 weeks in a row, and we're like, we showed up 2 weeks later. We're like, Marty, where you been? And he's like, I went on a walk with my wife, and I fell down on the sidewalk, and I cracked my head open. And he showed us this. And 2 weeks later, he's 84 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, 84 years old, and now that was 2 weeks later. He was up last Thursday doing this thing. First of all, he's got a full head of hair now, but that scar is completely gone from his face. He said, "I'm opening jars again for my wife." He said, "I'm not doing blood pressure medication anymore." So many things that he's doing, and 84 years old. It's not just somebody who's just starting to feel the signs of aging, right? It's 84 years old. You activate your stem cells, your body's going to go and act like it's a lot younger than it is. This gentleman here fell through the rafters, right? Doing construction, breaks 6 ribs, punctures his lung. He's having a bad day. Who's ever, I'm sure we've all done it, right? You're 7 years old, 8 years old, you fall off a bike, right? Ever do that, right? What'd you do after you fall off the bike?
Cry, get back
There you go.
Yeah, right, you get back on. You got your friends, you're not going home. No, right, yeah, you get back on. Now, what happens if you fall off a bike today? Where's the local hospital, right? Yeah, you're good.
Mortuary.
Yeah, right, exactly. So what difference is, right? When you're 8, what's the difference between when you're 8 and when you're 80? Is how much stem cell activity you get going in your body, right? So that's what we're changing, is the amount of stem cells. So this guy here, he's busted up on June 17th. Look what June 30th, reduction of inflammation, reduction of his swelling, obviously bruised, and he's back to work 2 weeks later. Absolutely incredible. And as we have so many stories on our team alone. It was neat to say when I first joined, look at all these stories that I'm hearing about, I'm reading about, I'm watching, I'm meeting people. But now it's our team, and this is a revenue. Nobody could ever convince me that this thing isn't as legit as it possibly can be. This is a doctor on our team, Dr. Amy Wicks. She's another chiropractor. These guys are good friends. She went down to Punta Mita with us as well. She has a great testimony. We did a Zoom on Sunday, and she shared her story again. This was her in February of 2024, and this is her today. And she goes, you can see complete differences on what this does to facial structure, to inflammation on the face, hair, eyes, eye differences, and that's literally what she looks like today, right? So again, that's not somebody on the internet. This is somebody on our team, and she really likes when I call on her just about every Sunday to do her own display.
I'm not going to break in too much, but he's showing that picture, so I don't want to talk about it tonight, but Dr. Amy had what we call a thyroid storm, and she almost died from it. And she got on the patch and it completely took care of her thyroid problem. And she looks that way today, but the thyroid was the issue.
Yep.
Almost killed her.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so this is Dr. Adam Sharon. Guys, we have on our team, we have, I don't even know anymore, probably close to 50